Hello there mates, Mooshi Gaming here. Thank you for checking into this next episode of ShadowRun Hong Kong. So let's jump right into it, shall we? So we're starting back up where we left off with going through this steel door here. See what's on the other side. Maybe finally reunite with my teammates that they so rudely separated me from. Oh, it's everybody. The sun stabs to your eyes as you step from the interrogation room to the noonday sun. Blink against the glare, the world gradually swims into focus. A familiar gray face greets you. Mooshi, you're out. Thank God, they've had you locked in there since we got here. He leans to peer into the trailer. Looks empty? The way that you were pounding on the door, I assume that someone was beating on you in there. They might as well have been. I've got a hell of a headache. Nobody beat on me, but one, maybe more than one. One of them made this probe my mind. It wasn't pleasant. They got you too. Great. There goes my chance at a rescue. Magical interrogation? He lets out a low whistle. Bastards are pulling out the big guns. He shakes his head agitatedly. The thing is, they should have been interrogating us at the same time, comparing our accounts and memories of the evening. It doesn't make any sense for them to question you for hours while we're all sitting out here. None of this makes sense, my friend. He produces a cigarette from his breast pocket and dangles it from his lip. Our captors are dressed like police constables, but this isn't central booking. It's a damn impound lot, and gassing you as they did is an unorthodox tactic, to say the least. How'd they pick you up, Rector? You weren't even with us on the run. Did you get caught trying to bust it? Is that Rector? What's the deal? Hey, yeah, I'll go with the first. I was taken unawares, as I imagine you were. Truth be told, I was working in my shop at the time. I'd rather not dwell on it. Truth be told, it is a long story. You know what else doesn't make sense? The cops coming after us at all. I mean, the APB on us was lifted, right? That's what Auntie Chang said after we got out of the walled city. It was lifted. The APB that Josephine Sang had crate put out on us come with a kill or capture order attached to it, and they weren't paying much attention to the capture part. If the APB hadn't been lifted, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd all be dead, just like Nightjar and Carter. Duncan's back stiffens, but he holds his tongue. We should be dead now, or in a secure facility somewhere. Instead, we're sitting in an impound lot, and not just us either. She gestures into the distance. At the edge of the impound yard, seated to the docks, the rusting hulk of the Krakens rises above its surroundings. Heavy chains snake up from the secure moorings on the doors to heavy matlocks that clamp down on the vessel's hull. She isn't going anywhere. They didn't just kidnap us, they kidnapped our damn boat. And those of us on board were taken along for the ride. He takes a drag on a cigarette. The bastards didn't even give any warning. They just hooked us to a tug, cut away our moorings, and hauled us away from the harbor. Can you shed any more light on all this, Seattle? I mean, whoever you talk to in there, like anything will slip or anything? The interrogator said that we were here as guests of the HKPF, whatever that means. He mentioned a couple of names. Any of you ever heard of anyone named Lamb or Q? Nothing worth mentioning, but these cops, they are cops. I'll say the names. I know lots of people named Lamb Q too. They aren't uncommon names. Considering where we are, I guess that they're high-ranking cops. Beyond that, so your guess is as good as mine. Gatchu suddenly leans toward the cell door, his head cocked. He lifts a gnarled hand, drifting for the scene to halt. Do you hear that? Footsteps. Someone is coming. He lowers himself to a ready stance. Prepare yourselves. We are about to have company. Who is it? A uniformed constable wearing a sergeant's insignia passes through a set of double gates and into your holding pen. She walks with an air of quiet authority, her face an expressionless mask. A pair of weary eyes fix themselves on you. MS, her voice is crisp and cold. Step forward, please. I'm not doing a thing until I know why you're holding us here. Yeah. If you come along quietly and do as you're told, all your questions will be answered. Now step forward, please. Senior Inspectors Lamb and Q want a word with you. This isn't good enough. I want you to talk to me right here in the yard where we can all hear you. They want to talk? I can talk. Just tell me where to go. I think I like a word with him too. I don't know how much I can push these guys. Because I don't want to go too far and have them like shoot me or something. Especially in front of my team, so I'm supposed to be the cool, collected leader. Okay. She nods, raises her PDA, and begins typing a series of commands. That's the right attitude. Very good. In a moment, I'm going to let you out of this cage. When I do that, I want you to make your way to the command trailer near the edge of the docks. Don't try anything stupid. You're being watched. Don't let me out without handcuffs on escort. I've served time in a corporate reason. I know what not to do. Yeah, I know the drill. You're just letting me out without handcuffs or an escort? Okay, I'll say this one. Wouldn't have been my call, but Q and Lamb wanted it that way. Something about building trust. She punches to find a button on her PDA, and the massive gates to the pin that holds you begin to rumble open. Go on, start walking. You don't want to leave the senior inspectors waiting. Okay. So who are the senior inspectors? I'm guessing the command trailer is where I go? Yeah, I'm assuming so. The cramped confines of the command trailer are packed to the gills with security-rated technology. Terminals and surveillance packages, all stamped with the Mooshi logo, fill every inch of available space. Just ahead of you, a pair of senior inspectors, one male, one female, stand over a command console. The man offers you a friendly smile. Ah, Miss S. Why is there clapping? Okay, that was weird. You're here. Very good. I am Senior Inspector Andy Lamb, one of the leaders of this task force. Thank you for coming so promptly. He extends a hand for you to shake. You say that as if I had a choice. Shake his hand. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm still not really sure about why I'm here. And I didn't really have a choice, so no. The woman in Elf replies through her mouth that seems drawn into a permanent scowl. Seems like you've got a firm grasp on the situation. That's good. It'll save us some time. Now, I've got a real bastard for migraines. Let's try to make this quick. Yes, of course. He offers her a slight bow. My apologies, Senior Inspector Q. And as for you, MS, you must be wondering what you and your team are doing here. Hell yes, I want to know what I'm doing here, and I hope, for your sake, that I like the answer. That's the understatement of the century. Where do you get off kidnapping me and my crew? Yeah, second comment, definitely. Q cuts in. It wasn't a kidnapping, MS. We did you a favor by pulling you off the streets. You ain't showed you the video. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so you did me a favor. Why? Out of the kindness of your heart? Actually, that video seemed pretty bad. I think that might have been too much even for us. So, yes. I'll say they did me a favor. Okay. Don't be ridiculous. Of course not. We helped you because we got a problem, and you're in a unique position to help us solve it. This is a job offer, MS. We want to hire you. Unique position, huh? You want to tell me what you mean by that? Can't say I think much of your recruitment tactics. I mean, if I'm going with the whole, you know, like they pulled me off the streets to save me thing, I don't. Okay, then I won't say, you know, I'll stop harping them on it. But tell me more about this unique position. We need to get information on someone that you have history with, someone that we suspect the criminal wrongdoing that can't move on without proof. Pull up the file, Lamb. They pull up Connie Chain. The answer is no. That is my woman. She helped me out when I needed it, and she might be a douchebag, but gosh darn it, she is loyal. Lamb nods and his finger dances over his PDA's keypad. He raises the device to show you what he's pulled up on a display. Oh, now this I can help you with. From the device tiny screen, a familiar face leers back at you. Lamb holds it to your face for a few seconds, then pulls the device away. You have history with this woman. He phrases it as a statement, not a question. Yeah, that's great. When the APB went out on me and Duncan, she's the one who appeared on the trick to tell the world. She's the one who authorized the massacre of everyone on the street last night. I know her. She was in charge of the police ambush that nearly killed me when I first got here. Yeah, that's pretty much why I know Craig and hate her. That's right, and that ambush did kill some friends of yours, a Lone Star officer named Carter and a ShadowRunner who called himself Nightjar, if I'm not mistaken. They were friends of friends, but yeah, they were shot through the head in the ambush. That's right, her people gunned them down in the middle of a friendly chat. Yeah, I'll say that. Craig's people are nothing if not efficient, and the chief inspector tells herself. And the chief inspector herself is a highly decorated officer, leader of the HKP's elite special duties unit. Within the police force, she's universally respected and feared. She's also the unofficial face of the special duties unit in the Hong Kong media circuit. When they need a talking head for a news broadcast, she's the woman they go to. To her fellow inspectors, Craig is a hero and a role model. They go to bat for her without a second's hesitation. That woman has a lot of pull. hint her need for an outsider. She's a big deal. I get it. Move on. And you suspect her of something. I take it. All of these, I feel like I would say, but I'll go with the second option. That's right. Key members of the Executive Council believe that Crate is at the center of a criminal conspiracy within the HKPF, that she and her co-conspirators have been working as mercenaries under our noses, taking on illicit side work for profit and tarnishing the HKPF's good name in the process. The task force was assembled to investigate a suspicion. They believe that she's gone bad? Gee, what was your first clue? Your media's darling super cop is turning on you, huh? How terribly sad. Okay, I get it. Tell me where I come in. I mean, she was already a pretty awful person. Her association with Josephine Sang, funny enough, including the APB that Sang had Crate put out on you. You may be aware that your name was cleared, by the way, that the APB was lifted and your file scrubbed clean. Lamb and I were the ones who made that happen. I knew that was going to come back and bite me somehow. Well, that solves that mystery. In that case, I guess a thank you was in order. That won't be necessary. That APB should never have been called out in the first place. Rescinding it was the right thing to do. Now, we understand that the prospect of working with a police task force could feel foreign to you, and I fully expect that you have questions you'd like to ask. Lamb spreads his hands. If there's any pressing that you'd like to know, I'll do my best to answer. I'd like to go back to Huey. You're gonna let me do that? Okay. How the hell did you get my boat here without Connie Chang stopping you? What makes you think that she could stop us? The Yellow Lodo is powerful, but we have a navy at our disposal. Navy? What did you do? Attack Huey? Of course not. We made a token show of force, and that was that. Connie Chang doesn't want the Marine Police parking a Sea Panther off the Huey docks any more than anybody would. As high as she might think of you, she wasn't about to risk a shooting order to keep us from towing your houseboat. Oh, Connie Chang. Wow. Thanks. Here's one. Why me? There are plenty of other runners in Hong Kong. Other runners don't have a built-in reason to want Crate dead. You do. Beyond that, you're the perfect deniable asset for this job. If you get caught or killed, the SDU will assume that you were there to get revenge for what they did to you. So if I get caught doing this job for you, you're gonna leave me to twist. Good enough reasoning, I guess. You really are the perfect runner for this job, MS. What we pulled from your mind in interrogation confirmed it. We know that we can trust you for this job, and that's invaluable to people in our position. I want to know who I'll be working for if I do this. What are your roles in this organization? Tell me where this impound is located. I want to know how far from home you're taking me. Yeah, how far have you taken me? We're nearer to Aberdeen than we are to Huey. That's about all you need to know. Secrecy is one of our most important tools for survival, MS. We can't give you an exact address. Okay, I want to know who I'll be working with if I do this. What are your roles in this organization? I handle the technical side of the investigation decking, information monitoring and control, surveillance work, that sort of thing. Q is on loan from Mitsuhama Corporate. She's a cop just like I am, but her primary responsibility is safeguarding the company's image and financial interests. Mitsuhama? What does a Japana Corp care about some dirty cops from Hong Kong? So we got a corp and a company woman. I've gotta say, it's hard for me to choose which of you I trust less. This is so hard for me. Why am my character why am I such an asshole? I want to say the second option. I have to say it. No, but I need to be a responsible leader and find out information for my team. The Hong Kong police force is owned and operated by Mitsuhama. The company is obviously concerned by what's happening here, so they dispatched me to help Lam and help lead this investigation. Consider me a corporate liaison, here to bridge the gap between the suits and the uniforms. Sounds thrilling. She shrugs. It's better than walking a beat. It pays better than walking a beat. Oh, that's what she said. I'd like to go back to here. You gonna let me do that? If you choose to work with us, certainly. Then when the job is done. If you refuse on the other hand, well, that's a more complicated discussion. I thought you said I wasn't a prisoner here, so you coerced me into helping you, dangling my freedom over my head. There's nothing complicated about it. I tell you to fuck off and you unchain my boat and let my team go. Simple. Our motives aren't sinister, Miss S, but You do know about this task force, and unfortunately that makes you a security risk. If you refuse to help us, we're going to have to hold you here for your own safety. You can go back to heal you when the job is done, and Crate and her people are behind bars. However long that takes. That's right, however long it takes. Or you could just help us and be home in a day or two. Your call. Oh wow, you make that sound so easy. You can wait 50 years for us to do the job, or you could handle it yourself and then go home when you're finished. Your choice. Looks like a pay-to-win game. You can grind for 60 years to get this awesome gear, or you can just give us $10 and get it quicker. I'm done asking questions, so what's next? What's next is that we let you go. For now. Take some time, think it over, and come back when you're ready to seal the deal. After you've accepted, we'll go into details of the run. I'm not accepting anything from you without running it by my team first. You know who I work for. Do you know what would happen to me if I agreed to work with the cops? Yeah, I need to run it by my team first. That's why we're letting you go. Talk to them and tell them exactly what we told you. We're confident that they'll want to work with us. They should be headed to the Kraken as we speak. She pauses. Fun name, by the way. Oh yeah, because I named the Kraken in my previous playthrough. I didn't even think about that. When you made your decision, come back to us. No rush, no pressure. We're not trying to coerce you into doing this. We're all on the same team, after all. I'll talk to my people. No promises. Okay. Meet with your team and contact County Chang. I have some words for County Chang. How is she just... she didn't even, like, try to defend us. She'll just, like, oh, there's something happening over there. We have no interest in dealing with that. As you pass through the hatch and step into the familiar confines of the Kraken, you find your team waiting for you. Well, this is a hell of a thing. Gava absentmindedly passes a rat from one hand to another. The rodent squeals and chirps in delight. You said it, Gun Show. Not our best date ever as a team. So what's the deal, MS? Who captured us? Are they really cops, or are we dealing with something else here? They're cops, specifically an HKPF task force run by a couple of senior inspectors. They're puppets of the Executive Council, technically HKPF, but closer to wage slaves than real detective. A bunch of rank and file police constables led by a couple of assholes in business. Oh gosh, I love this game. Knew it. The whole thing had HKPF stink all over it. They can dress up however they want, but at the end of the day, a cop is a cop. What does this task force want with us? Did they pitch their agenda to you? They must have to work for them to help take down Crate and her dirty cops. They're blackmailing us. Bunch of Mitsuhama lackey trying to get us to do that dirty work. Funny enough, I think that this whole thing is going to work to our advantage. I'll explain the situation. Really, that's interesting. Interesting. What'd you tell them? I told them I wouldn't agree to anything until I ran it by you. I was betting them a line about needing to check in. Mostly I was texting them. I want to see if they let me walk. Doesn't matter, I'm here now, and we can figure out our next steps away from prying eyes. Well, I guess it's nice to know you're thinking of us. So, what's our next step? We're about to find out. Show of hands, who's willing to work for the HKPF? If we're going to get ourselves out of this, we're going to need backup. Connie may be able to provide it. We call up our fixer and tell her that we're bringing her a job for once. So I can either say... Okay, so I can ask my team what they think. I can make the decision myself. Or I can try to find a way out of it. I don't see any reason to not get Crate, but are we really willing to work with the HKPF? I think it's safe to say that we all are. I mean, it doesn't look like there's another way out of this. Plus, we can get our revenge for Carter. That alone should be worth the price of admission. The ghoul nods. We didn't follow you through the walled city and test ourselves against a Yama King to let the police scare us away. Wherever this road may lead, we will follow. Glad to know that I can count on you. Sounds like everybody's on board then. Always nice to have the support of my crew. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still haven't run this little plan by Connie Chang yet. She raised an eyebrow. You do know that we should do that, right? I mean, the old lady controls an army of thugs, and I can't imagine that she like these cops any more than she does Crate and her corrupt ones. Yeah. Isabel gives a solemn nod. She's right. You should call kindly. Bring the old woman up to speed on what's been happening here. Contact kindly with your PDA. No time like the present. You tap Connie Chang's personal comlink number into your PDA and hit the send button. A moment later, the old woman's face appears on the screen. MS, a pleasure to see you, dear. I've been worried sick. Oh, really? Were you worried sick when they towed my boat off of the port and you just sat there twiddling your thumbs? Like, oh, well, can't do anything about that. Guess I'll just let them go. She swills something the color of rotten palms out of a highball glass. Now, would you kindly tell me where the fuck you've been? HKPF gassed us on our way out of combat. Pains, they're holding me in an impound yard and disposed. I was trapped in a long, awkward conversation with a police interrogator. In trouble, Auntie Chang. Turns out the cops were still following me even after the APB was called off. I mean, that's not quite the truth. Indisposed. I was trapped in a long, awkward conversation with a police interrogator. HKPF gassed us on our way out of combat. Pains, they're holding me in an impound yard. This one has the most information, I feel. Ah, I see. Her voice goes cold. You're calling me from police custody? They haven't learned anything that they didn't already know. In fact, they told me to call you. They made a mage poke around in my head, Auntie Chang. My calling you isn't gonna make much of a difference. Please spare me the drama. I've had a shitty enough day already. I'll say the second one. They scanned you? How disappointing. There was a long pause, then finally, tell me exactly what they said to you. Don't leave anything out. What? Was she disappointed in me? The cops who took us here are all an anti-corruption task force. The police who have me aren't HKPF rank and file. They're working directly for the executive council. The cops who have me want me to take down Crate. You know the cop who keeps popping up on the news? Her eyes flash dangerously. I know who she is. Keep talking. The leaders of the group are called Quill and Lamb, Auntie Chang. That's what the sergeant at the holding king said. They're senior inspectors. Those won't be their real names, dear. Not if they're letting you contact me like this. Well, whoever they are, they're after the cops that were working for Joseph Insane. They want my help. They had a proposition for me, Auntie Chang. They want me to help take down Chief Inspector Craig and her people. It doesn't matter what their names are. They want to take on the SDU and they want my help doing it. Aston had a proposition. They want my help, but it's not really my choice. She lifts the glass to her lips and takes another slurp of the dirty, viscous liquid. They're after the fifth who ambushed you, then the ones that killed Nightjar and Carter. Nobody gives a fuck about Carter. You should know better to interrupt me by now, Gunshow. She dismisses the outburst with a wave of her hand. Now be a good boy, keep your mouth shut. Duncan clenches his jaw. He's clearly furious, but he says nothing. Alright, I want you to go along with it. Tell them that you'll take the job, with my blessing. I'm sorry. You're going to have to repeat that. You want me to work with these people? I suppose that follows. You did love Nightjar. That isn't what this is about. She looks into her glass, swirling the liquid inside with a flick of her wrist. Not entirely. I've always wanted to get a runner into one of the HKPF secure facilities, but it was never in the cards. Now, here comes this task force inviting you in. You can avenge my sweet Nightjar's death in the process. Well, so much the better. I can't believe that you're going along with this. So you want me to spy on the cops? Makes sense, I suppose. Understood. Any special instructions that you want me to follow? Be smart. Do nothing that could endanger the Yellow Lotus or myself and report back to me if you see anything that could constitute a threat. Above all, keep your eyes open and don't trust this task force of yours, whatever you do. When this is all over, I'll report back to you with what I find. I don't like this. Working with the cops isn't my thing. I always keep my eyes open, Auntie Chang. That's why I'm still alive. I'll go with the first. See that you do. I'll be waiting. Oh, and in this, I'm sure that the police confiscated the comm that you procured from Eddie Tang, the one that I paid you to retrieve for me. Give it back. She throws a button on her PDA and the screen goes black. Well, guess that's it. She lifts her shoulders into a half shrug. We're doing this. Conley's right. This is an opportunity for us to kill two birds in one stone. We take down the cops that hunted us and we collect intel on HKPF. I don't like it, but I don't see what choice we have. If we're prisoners here, whatever Quill and Lamb say. I'm gonna kill every one of these assholes. We'll use the task force to help us take down Crate, and then Quill and Lamb will get their turn. I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, I'll just go at. Then there is no more to be said. He turns away, his armor rustling as his body shifts. You go back to Lamb and Quill and accept the job. I will ready my gear. Awesome. But first, whoa! Don't know how that happened. Accidentally clicked out of the game there somehow. What does clicking on my mission computer do? The workstation and mission computer. The cool blue tones of the workstation's main menu fills the screen. So no unread messages, no old messages, no jobs, Oh, cool. So we have some of these here. The first thing that I want to do is, as always, go talk to my team. Now that I know that I can talk to the bottom two guys, I will make an effort to do that more so that they don't feel left out. Oh my god, talk to Raptor. Oh, my friend, an interesting turn of events to be sure. It's not every day that we find ourselves the victims of kidnapping. Tell me about it. I can't say that I'm a fan. If this kind of thing happened every day, I can't imagine we find much work. Nor am I. Under any other circumstances, Koshie would already have torn out our captor's spines, he sighed. But Connie Chang wants revenge on Crate and dirt on the Hong Kong police force, and so we must play nice with these people, however distasteful we may find it to do so. Cheer up, Rector. I'm sure that we'll have an opportunity to get some payback after the job is done. I want Crate dead, too, so we use the situation to our advantage, like we always do. Yes, my friend, you are of course correct. Now, is there something I can help you with, or did you just come by for a friendly chat? What do you intend to do after we finish this? He shrugs. I suspect that I'll return to what I was doing before we got press games and working with the HKPF. I will Shadowrun for fun and entertainment and spend my spare hours working on refining my mechanical counterpart. Koshie scurries forward and Raptor rests his hand on the drone's chassis. The drone rolls up against his leg like a dog, light glinting off of the smooth contours of his heart and body. Always a work in progress, don't you know? How could he not be? To improve Koshie is to improve the best part of myself. I don't think I agree with you with that. The best part of you is your mind. So you're saying that you'll never be finished with Koshie? I sincerely doubt it. Koshie is my masterpiece, and I will continue to refine him until I die. He smiles, his eyes twinkling. That's assuming that I fail to achieve immortality, of course, and that is far from a foregone conclusion, I assure you. And what about you, my friend? Do you have any grand ambitions to share? If so, share them. I'm all ears. I can't say that my plans are for certain. We'll just have to see how this thing plays out. I've got no plans other than to keep doing what we're doing. Ambitions? No. But I think that after this thing is over, it might be time to make a change. Now, I like my team. I'm pleased to hear that, my friend. Truly, I am. He gives the cigarette a tap, and the ash that clings to the tip spills to the floor. Let us change the subject, eh? The future can wait. I'm sure that there are many more pressing matters that we could discuss. What'd you think of that last run? I wasn't there, my friend, and on the whole, I prefer not to express an opinion on the run that I didn't attend. Okay, gotta run. So let me go talk to Gaichu. I really do like Gaichu, even if I don't take him very many places. Hello, my friend. Was there something else? How are you holding up with all of this? Gaichu shrugs and waves a hand in the direction of the door. Duplicates, corporate managers, triad gangsters, or police. What? Really? It's a difference. None can be trusted fully. Each one would sell us out in a heartbeat if it benefited them in the long run. Yet, I continue to be paid, and so I will remain. Do not be fooled by our benefactors. If everything they wanted were to be granted them, and they could earn promotions by arresting or killing us, they would. Money and power rule the city and everyone in it. It is a ravenous maw that devours the weak. I care little for their aims, other than that I can profit from them. What about Crate? Revenge for what she did? Don't you want to get back to working for Auntie Chang? I'm not a friend either, but at least it's work. Yes, that it is. My only concern is what will happen when the work runs out. Will promises be honored, or will our benefactors, as is all too common, become our betrayers? The ghoul lifts his chin, taking a deep breath in through his nose. Where you go, I will follow. My only counsel at this time is to be cautious, watch your back, and be prepared to have a way out. What do you think of our benefactors? I wonder if they did not overstate the danger of Crate in the Special Duties Unit. I do not fear much, especially not a SWAT team. I believe that they are overstating the danger that she posed to us during the riots. Certainly, she is dangerous, but then so are most of the enemies we face. Consider it. We started a AA corporation, survived a police APB, and stared down a god of death from beyond the depths of known astral space. A SWAT commander seems to pale in comparison, don't you think? As for our benefactors, keep your eyes open. For all of her foul-mouthed posturing, I have admired Connie Chang's insistence that we trust no one but her. I do not trust Q or Lamb. Lamb's enthusiasm is cloying and false. Q is a corporate soldier and would no doubt execute us without a second thought if she were ordered to. Believe me, I'm keeping a close watch on them. That's not very charitable. If they try anything, we'll handle them. Let's see. I'll say the third. So long as we can free the Kraken, they have it chained down fairly well. It would sink quickly if attacked. Keep your eyes open. That is all I'm saying. What did you think of that last run? Triapsing through a riot to retrieve a jade artifact for a triad boss? Please, invent a time machine and tell the me of several years ago that my life would be this way. I would have laughed in your face and then been made to look a fool when the prediction came true. I could have used that manner of reality check, I think. Tell me, were you surprised at the police being willing to kill unarmed civilians? Yeah, that's not protecting the serving. Not really. They're as corrupt as everyone else in this city. Then I suspect that you are far more aware of the ways of the world than I was when I was younger. The only difference between the HKPF and a corporate security detail is that the HKPF receives marching orders from multiple masters, and I do not know for certain that our current allies are any better than the police we encounter on the way to combat pains. If that is why you felt compelled to come to the defense of the civilians, I want you to know that I understand, but I do not agree. We are killers and criminals, and as much as we might try to do the right thing, there is an inescapable fact of our lives. We kill people to accomplish the goals of others. The line between us and the STU is much thinner than you might like to think. Daichu always speaks the truth. He's a very, down-to-earth person. That's what I like about him. He, even in his attempts to be neutral, he's still he doesn't try to be neutral. He's clearly in favor of you. That's why he follows you. But even though, he's in favor of you, he's not afraid to tell you, this is how it is. And even if we try to do it, even if he follows your orders, he doesn't think, oh, you did this really great thing because you protect those guys from the police officers. That was so cool of you. Gaichu was like, yeah, okay, we protected them from the police officers, but if you think that was chivalrous, just keep in mind, we're doing the same things that they're doing, whether you like to hear that or not. And that's what, Gaichu keeps it real. That's what I like about him. Even though he's a ghoul, I mean, he's a unique ghoul. I'm not species to ghouls. Don't judge me. But anyway, we're at 30 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and we'll finish the talks in the next video. So if you guys liked the video, come subscribe, like, and share this video, get the word out about Mooshi Gamer. Thank you guys so much for watching, and Mooshi Gamer signing out.